Hello and welcome to today's video. As you can see, today we've got something a little bit different. This is going to be a fun one. We're going to take a look at red light, near infrared, far infrared. We're going to dive into the healing power of frequencies. And here's a little taster of what you've got coming up. So while I don't need to wear these, I will wear my standard glasses because I can actually see better. These are very, very tinted. They actually turn everything green when you wear them. And as I said, today we're going to take a look at some of the healing powers of light. I think it's a good idea to throw a couple of disclaimers out there. First of all, we do have a sponsorship in today's episode, so that's very, very cool. Secondly, if you're ever using any kind of red light device, they come with these glasses for a reason. Please don't be stupid and make yourself blind. Be really careful when you're using them. Third, majority of the benefits that you get from these things, you can also get from sun. I really don't want you to feel like you have to buy these things so that you can heal. Healing can be very affordable. There are lots of things that you can do for free, but I know sometimes you want to take it that next step. And also sometimes you live in England or in Canada and you've never even heard of the sun. It doesn't exist there, especially during winter. So if you're living in this kind of latitude, these types of devices can be super, super helpful. So when we're looking at different frequencies of light and how they can have healing impacts in the body, the best thing that I can do to get us started is to talk about some of the benefits. Because if you can understand how profoundly beneficial these things can be in your life, it makes it so much easier to digest the information because you actually have a reason to care. If I tell you that using different frequencies of light can help you have more energy, can improve your sleep, can improve acne or different issues that you might be having on your skin, that they could boost your lymphatic flow, they could improve tissue repair post-surgery, you could see an improvement or an enhancement in not only your performance muscularly, but your recovery as well, and potentially even benefits to your fascia, tendons, and ligaments, which for me is really, really important. And even using some of these frequencies that can penetrate into your body by up to 3 to 5 centimeters. So just for context, we're talking like this much penetration into your body. This means we can get these frequencies into our organs, into our gut, into our liver, our kidneys, even into our bones. So we can really get some of these frequencies to penetrate deep inside of our body to have a very profound healing effect. So as today's episode is sponsored by Flickies and their giant panel here, we're going to look specifically at some of the frequencies that this panel is capable of outputting so that we can look at the benefits that we could expect from some of these different types of frequencies. So our primary focus today is going to be looking at red light and near infrared radiation. We're also going to talk a little bit about blue light, which can be interesting because everyone thinks blue light is bad. And that there is some truth to this, that there is a harmful mechanism by which blue light can negatively affect us. But there can be some beneficial aspects to this as well. So we'll talk about that in a moment. But before we dive into this, I want to talk about a couple of other different types of light that aren't covered here, that we're not going to do a deep dive in. I'm just going to do a shallow little touch on them just so you can have an idea of them, because these are also important. So when we look at these types of devices or these different types of healing modalities, it's generally split into two primary categories: near infrared radiation and far infrared radiation. Basically, the difference is that they have a different range in the nanometer of the wavelength. So near infrared is a much smaller wavelength and far infrared is much, much bigger. And in essence, what this means is it has a different level of penetration through the tissues in the body. And the reason that I'm so excited to talk about the near infrared, which is what we're going to dive into in today's video, is that this is the band of light that can actually penetrate through the tissues, through the skin, and actually get into the organs. And it has some really interesting and beneficial effects. But there is a little benefit to far infrared radiation that I wanted to touch on before we do that. So far infrared is usually what you'll get in types of saunas, basically. So it doesn't penetrate that deeply. It does penetrate a little bit. I believe the maximum you'd ever really see is about 0.5 centimeter. So it's tight. It's still sun. So we are still getting some of the penetration. But this really works thermically. So this is, in essence, using radiation to increase the heat inside of your body. And you know, if you've watched any of my videos before, I'm a huge fan of different types of thermotherapy. So these are modalities where we're using heat to trigger healing mechanisms inside the body. So if you're ever looking at something like a far infrared sauna, the benefits that you get here are primarily coming from this heat-based effect where we increase body temperature. So you'll see an increase in heat shock proteins. You'll see a mobilization of toxins from the cell. You see an upregulation in immune function. It's a very broad spectrum effect. But this obviously also makes you feel very hot. Saunas make you feel hot, and the way that far infrared radiation has its effect is it increases the heat inside your body. And this is really cool and I love this, but it's not accessible to everyone. I have a lot of clients that aren't able to tolerate heat, or they're exercise intolerant, or they can't do these kinds of things. And this is why I really wanted to take a deeper dive into the near infrared radiation, because it's very accessible for everyone. It's very unlikely that you'll have some kind of sensitivity to this sort of thing. It's not impossible, so always be careful and always build your dose up gradually, as I encourage in all of my videos. But one reason that I really wanted to make this video is I love finding modalities that don't require us to take an oral supplement, because it's very likely that they have fillers or additives. You can be sensitive to these things. They're not as widely accessible to everyone, whereas light is universally accessible. We live in a world of light. And I'm also a huge fan of one-time purchases. I did a video before about buying a grounding cable, because you buy this and then you can sleep earthed for the rest of your life. It's a one-time purchase. The same is true for something like a red light panel. Once you have it, you can use it. You can get infinite use out of it. It's extremely high in the cost to benefit ratio, which for me personally, I really like. So let's take a look at some of these specific wavelengths that are classified in the near infrared and red light range, so we can see what the benefits are, how we get these benefits, and if these are benefits that you might be interested in trying to achieve. So first of all, in the red light range, so red light doesn't really penetrate. It is more of a surface level of benefit. However, that can still be profoundly helpful. So two frequencies of red light are more well studied, 360 nm and 660 nm. And these are the frequencies that make my panel look like this. Let me just turn it on for you quickly so you can see. So these ones, yeah, see, I don't have my glasses on, so I probably shouldn't look at it. So those ones basically turn my room into the sun. These are the red light frequencies. These don't really penetrate, but they can have big beneficial impacts on your skin. So the list of benefits connected to these two frequency sets include improvements in skin tone, collagen, reduction in wrinkles, and an improved healing, or like a reduction in the perceptibility of scars, and also improvements in skin-based inflammatory conditions, facilitating hair growth, improvements in especially skin circulation, and skin healing itself. And if you think about it, this makes a lot of sense, because these frequencies don't go any deeper than the skin, so all of the benefits that you're going to be experiencing are basically on the skin. And then we move into the near infrared range. For me, as a bit of like a self-proclaimed nerd, this is where things get really interesting for me. So in this near infrared range, we are getting deeper level of penetration between 3 and 5 centimeters into the body. There's a full band, but there are 4 specific frequencies that have more data, that have more science. And there's been more research, so we have more direct conclusions that we can take from these different frequencies, being the 810, 830, 850, and 880 nanometers. And one great thing about this FLIKEZE panel that I'm using is it has all of these, and you can turn them all on at the same time. I'm just going to pop this up here just so you can have a little look. There's a little screen on the side here. You could choose which different frequency sets you want. So if you wanted just the red ones, you can just put the red ones on and then turn it off. Obviously, it's going to completely blind me. We turn that off. You can also turn on the near infrared frequencies without the red light. So now I'm going to turn it on. You don't really see anything happen. Maybe you can hear the fan if I put it close, but this is infrared light. We can't see infrared light, so you can't actually see it. So the panel, you see a very dim red light turn on. You can't see this type of radiation, but it can penetrate through your skin 3 to 5 centimeters and trigger a whole host of different benefits. So there is actually such a long list. I'm not going to give you the whole list. I'm just going to reel off some of my highlights for benefits that I think, in my opinion, the most profound. So for me, it's closer on the 880 nanometer, slightly larger wavelength. We start to see big benefits in the fascia, tendons, ligaments, gut, and liver support. For me, this wavelength, this band is phenomenal. I'm all about gut liver health, but also I have had some problems with my fascia, my tendons, my ligaments. And what I've actually found is knowing this isn't enough. It's not just enough to know about these benefits. You actually have to find a way to fit these in a daily basis. And with the benefits that I've just listed to you, the place I fit this in my routine is actually during my rest periods whilst I'm training. So I've just kind of transformed my garage downstairs into a little gym. I've got a place that I can do a dead hang. I've got some free weights, a lot of floor space, so I can do a lot of body weight stuff. And it's amazing. I'm feeling a lot of benefit in my tendons, in my ligaments. Overall, my body, I can feel my body is opening up. But I still find that I can tire myself out quite quickly, especially when you're doing full body things. Like when you're doing calisthenics style movements, you're recruiting so many different types of muscles all the way through your body, stabilizers, all these different things. It takes me a little bit of time to recover. So sometimes I'll take like 3 to 5 minutes to just kind of sit there. And usually what ends up happening, I just kind of sit on the floor, I get on my phone, and I brain rot. I don't really do anything beneficial. Now what I do is I've had this panel, and it's got this really nice solid base on the bottom. I actually just put it on a little cardboard box at the minute because we're still in a bit of a renovation phase. I stick this right next to where I train and I get all hot and sweaty. I take my shirt off and I just sit in front of it. If I'm facing it, obviously I wear the very, very cool, very stylish green goggles. But very often I'll just sit with my back to it instead. Because again, these are penetrating internally. These are going inside. So front, back doesn't really matter. The wavelengths are literally wiggling past your skin, like your skin barriers here. It's like they wiggle past and go inside. So I'm sitting there recovering and I'm getting these wavelengths coming in, helping my tendons, helping my ligaments, my gut, my liver. And for me, that's the biggest benefit personally. There are just a couple of other benefits to reel off to you that might be helpful for you. You get improvements in blood flow, improvements in tissue regeneration. It also supports joints, bones, muscles, and can be really helpful with chronic pain. I'll be honest, I personally haven't seen any improvement in any of the chronic pain that I experience, but I'm in a process, you know? You don't just like click your finger and just figure these things out. They take some time. I'm working through them. I'm doing the training, but it's really nice to know that I have something on site that is helping to reduce my inflammation, improve my recovery. And it's also nice to know I can just do this in between my rest sets, which is, for me, is really, really nice. I like to be efficient. I don't like to waste time. It feels kind of annoying if I'm sitting there resting. I want to kind of push to the next one. This helps me to slow down a little bit. It's like, look, calm down. You're still getting health benefits. Just chill. So I really like that. So there is one final feature in this panel that I wanted to show you just before we finish up. So when Flickies reached out to sponsor this video, they gave me a couple of different products, different options that I could try from. Now, for me personally, I don't really have any skin problems at all, which I'm very blessed in that all of my problems are internal, not external. But there is one feature in here, which is a blue light. Let me just switch over here. I'm just going to blast myself in the face with the blue light feature as well, just so you can see. So that blue light, it's not red, it's blue. This blue light feature could be really helpful if you struggle with something like seasonal affective disorder, or again, if you live at like a more of a northern latitude where you don't get that much sun, especially over the winter. Using the blue light feature earlier in the day could be really helpful to help you set your circadian rhythm. This has a whole cascade of benefits. It balances your cortisol, it improves your mood, and boosts serotonin. There are a lot of benefits to that. But there's one specific benefit about the frequency that they use in this specific product that I wanted to highlight for you. So this is 460 nanometers of blue light. This is an antimicrobial wavelength. So this doesn't really penetrate the skin. It's a bit like the red light. It doesn't go deeper than the skin, but it can be really helpful for controlling the microflora presentation that you have externally on the skin. So if you struggle with any kind of skin-based dysbiosis, using this frequency of blue light could be really helpful in helping your body get that situation under control. I would be careful to not use it at night because it might disrupt your circadian rhythms. Definitely the blue light, you definitely want to use earlier in the day. The red light, the near infrared, you can get away with using that whenever you want. Could actually be a really nice part of your wind down routine, kind of simulating the type of light that you would get from a fire, from candlelight. So if you feel like you are having some kind of skin presentation, skin inflammation, some kind of acne, eczema, anything like that, this frequency of light could be potentially beneficial. So this product that we've been looking at is called the Spectra Panel, and Flickies actually have 3 different kind of tiers of this product. I thought it would be really nice just to highlight that I've basically got the elite tier. This one that has all of the frequencies of near infrared, the red light and the blue light is the elite model. So this has all of the different frequencies. If you're looking for slightly different frequency sets, if the skin things aren't as much of a problem for you, or if maybe you're on a little bit of a budget, because I know the world that we live in now, it can be a little bit tricky. I just thought it would be nice to highlight that there is actually a spectrum of these products. We're actually going to give you a nice little discount if you click through with our link. This is again, one reason I wanted to partner with Flickies was so that I could get you a discount code. So if you are looking to get one of these for yourself, click through on that link and then take a look at the different products, take a look at the different frequency ranges that each product includes, and take a look at what you think will be the best one for you. I personally wasn't sure about getting the one with the blue light frequency, but then seeing how my mood is so significantly affected by it being so dark. I actually live in Portugal now. I'm nearly 2 hours south of where I used to live in England. And even during winter, it still feels too dark. When it's raining outside, it just has this kind of gloomy feel. So it can be really nice to blast some light into your face to wake you up and to help you feel like you're alive. And if you want to get in my opinion, the best cost to outcome ratio, I would focus on those near infrared frequency ranges because you get all of those penetrative benefits in your body. Those organ tissues, the muscles, the tendons and ligaments. You are going to directly affect your mitochondria and increase photobiomodulation. It's one of the, in my opinion, most powerful things that these types of light therapies do for us. So go and have a look, see if you want any of these different products that they offer, and let me know in a comment below. If you take a look at their website and you see they actually have a bunch of other products. They have this like face mask thing with red lights in it. They have a really cool thing for your neck. It's like a cervical cushion with red lights in it. I have a lot of neck and back issues. I would love to review this product as well. And the best way to make that happen is leave me a comment below, letting me know and letting Flickies know that you want me to review that product too. Because if you want me to take a look at it, I'm really happy to do it. But I need them to send it over to me. And I love reviewing these things so I can give you my honest opinion on them, show you what the benefits are, and help you get a good ratio on expense to benefit. So if you're interested in me reviewing any of their other stuff, make sure you leave me a comment below and let me know, because then I could share it with them and say, look, my audience wants to see this product as well. And then they'll send it over and I can review it for you. So that's everything for me today. I'd be really interested to hear what you think about not just this panel specifically, but the concept of healing with light in general. And if you can't access this because of finances or because the time's not right or you don't think it's the right product for you, just remember the sun is a big ball of light and it's going to throw all of these frequencies at you. Maybe not in such high doses, but you can still get these benefits for free naturally as well. So let me know what you think and let me know if you have any questions. That's it for me today. Take care and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.